Hello friends, it's Rich again over at the Gospel Rescue Mission, helping you build a foundation that can endure any storm. In order to forge your foundation, you're going to have to do some deliberate work. We've talked about taking action, taking some time to analyze what's important, what's urgent. We've talked a little bit about how you make those long-term decisions. But we also want you to take into account Luke 2:52 that says Jesus grew physically, mentally, spiritually, and socially. And as he's growing in those areas, we also need to be growing in those areas. So the choices you're making, the foundation that you're building, as you're starting to take those first actions, these should be little actions. They don't need to be huge. You don't need to get up and run a marathon tomorrow to help build your physical fitness. Maybe your physical is strictly something small, like getting up and walking more often. I recommend every hour walking at least 250 steps. So movement. It could also just be nutrition. Maybe you're going to put aside those processed, ultra-processed foods. You're going to get rid of some of those and stick with those healthy vegetables and fresh meats and some of those things. That health could also be just breathing right. One of the tips that I'd like to give to folks is this: just start breathing through your nose primarily. I know during a workout it can be really tough, but the more you breathe through your nose was developed for breathing. Your mouth can take up the gap, but really the nose is what was designed for that. So take in the breathing. And the last big piece is really just taking the time to sleep. That could be your rest thing. So it could be your physical. It's just getting enough sleep at night. And we'll eventually go into some tips and things you can do there. So physically, mentally, you should be reading a book a month or a book a week at least. That's what I like to do. That's what Teddy over here behind my left shoulder there, or behind my right shoulder, depending on how you're looking at it. He read a book a week or more. He was an avid reader. We should be doing the same thing mentally. Spiritually, we're going to talk about some of the other things you can do, but praying, fasting, seeking God's face. And most importantly, how do I take what I read in the scriptures, what I hear at church, what I hear from God in my prayer time, and apply it to my everyday life? That's part of this whole process. And then socially, how am I interacting with other people? Can I be whimsical? Can I be polite? Can I just do manners? Well, those are some tips we're going to get started on here pretty shortly. But we'll come back to some more planning before you take a lot of those hard actions. But little actions have big results. Let's get on it.